orangutans, bat caves, and people from many cultures and races. Hello, I'm Nancy Perlman, here on the Malaysian side of Borneo, where on this edition of Eco News, we've traveled to experience the sights and sounds of Southeast Asian cities, tropical rainforests, and endangered species. Stay with us for a journey in this wondrous land.
The interaction between the environment and peoples throughout the world affects the quality of life on this planet. As citizens of our community, we can participate in decisions impacting our city, state, and nation. In this series, we explore the effects of our influence on the Earth's ecosystems, as well as alternatives and solutions. This is Eco News with your host, Nancy Perlman.
Welcome to this edition of Eco News. I'm here at Malaysia's Mulu National Park on the island of Borneo, one of the many places our camera crew has traveled to experience the sights and sounds of this wonderful place with the International Channel's television program, Pepe's Time. I'm off now to have some eco-tourist opportunities with tropical adventures. Our Amtour Vacations adventure from our base in the rainforest begins with the descent into the coastal mountains and valleys of Malaysia. After a long flight, we are treated to a warm welcome by a group of local performers. Our Eco News camera team is pleased to meet our Chinese friend, Pepe, film actress and star of Asia's Pepe's Time. We decide to journey together through the Malaysian side of Borneo. We start in the state of Sarawak, in its capital city of Kuching, also known as the City of Cats. A museum has even been built in their honor. Cats are considered a sacred animal in the Malaysian culture, bringing luck to the area's inhabitants. Kuching is a modern, bustling city with all the Western luxuries, but its ancient roots and traditions remain firmly intact. Pepe and I decide to take a trip into the cultural heart of the city and experience the famous outdoor markets where we are sure to find the exotic sights and smells of this exciting culture. Borneo is such a fascinating island, and in addition to the rainforests and the wildlife, the cities provide such color. It's a multicultural community. And here in Kuching, we can see in this market the Chinese, the Malay, the indigenous people, and we can see an incredible variety of fruits and vegetables and animals to eat. I'm beginning to wonder what all I can eat, but it's certainly an adventure to try, and that's what coming to a place like this is all about, an adventure in every sense of the word. It's a fascinating place, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of the incredible sights and sounds in a market such as this. Hey. The immense network of Malaysia's river system gives us an opportunity to further experience all that this wondrous place has to offer. Less than a 30-minute boat ride down the river, we're off to explore one of Malaysia's national wildlife treasures. We find exactly what we are looking for. Unlike the biologists and wildlife researchers who have to spend days getting into the wilderness, into the tropical rainforest to view orangutans, tourists and visitors have the opportunity to visit the Semango Wildlife Rehabilitation Center here in Borneo. This is a unique opportunity to see orangutans being reintroduced into the wild, learning their natural behaviors. I'm looking forward to this visit. Let's go. This is one of the few places in the world where orangutans, one of our primate relatives, are being reintroduced into the wild. It's one of the few places in the world where we can see an
excellent wildlife rehabilitation program and see these beautiful animals outside of the confines of a cage. These animals have been taken illegally from the wild and have been confiscated and now are being reintroduced into their natural behaviors and habitats so that they can live the life that they were intended to live. And the orangutans are found only in Borneo and Sumatra. So it's a rare opportunity to be here. It's a rare opportunity for them to come allow us to visit them in their home. Dr. Gary Shapiro, you're Vice President of the Orangutan Foundation. You're working with rehabilitation centers like these that we're here in Borneo. And we see a lot of tourists here. What should they know about these animals that we're looking at right now?
Well, a couple of things. They should know that these animals have been confiscated by the Park Service as an effort to stop the trade in endangered species. This is a very important project, probably the most important aspect of what we're doing right here. There is also a conservation element. Orangutans are endangered. And one of the things that both the Indonesian and Malaysian governments are trying to do is to return orangutans to areas where there aren't any orangutans. This is the precursor of this. These orangutans have to learn how to return to the wild. So there's a long education process that has to take place. Orangutans taken from their mother's arms do not know how to find food, do not know how to climb trees, and do not know how to make nests for the night. This takes years of training.
So this behavior that we see behind us is really being taught to them.
Well, they're learning on their own, trial and error. In some locations, they can learn from watching others.
In the wild, naturally, their mothers will be teaching them.
That's correct. But again, the education is one of patience, of long-term observational learning, and not any direct teaching like we would do in our school systems, for example. Well, orangutans are special because they form a group like people, chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans. They're part of the family of what we call hominoidians, so we're very much one family. They have a lot in common with human beings. They share very much of their genetic material with people, about 97% genetically like us. They're also very much like us developmentally. When they're babies, they go through a developmental stage just like little children. They're very smart. In fact, they can learn how to communicate with sign language, which is what I taught them about 17 years ago. I have a little orangutan daughter that has gone back to the forests in Indonesian Borneo, who learned 40 different signs, like food, drink, fruits, and she could ask for them. So they're very, very smart. They can learn to communicate. They're also very special because they're the gardeners of the forest. They help to consume and spread seeds. They help to modify the forest canopy, and they keep the forest healthy. And they are very much an indicator species of the health of the forest. So they're very special ecologically, evolutionarily, developmentally, in many, many different ways.
These are higher primates that really are very intelligent, have an important role in protecting this ecosystem of a rainforest.